What's good, everybody? It's your boy Cafe. I just left the theater from checking out Blue Beetle, and I'm here to give you guys my honest review and my thoughts about the film. So, before I go into it, let me just say this. When the trailer for this film first came out, it didn't catch my attention like that. It was more of a curiosity, like, okay, I'm curious to check this out. That's what it was for me. And also for some people was like, the trailer don't do nothing for me. And the other half of people was like, I'm gonna check it out because they knew about Blue Beetle. And the other group was like me, like, the curiosity, like, I'm curious, maybe, but I'm curious to check it out. So, number one, the story was predictable. Like a lot of superhero films, the story is predictable. So don't go in there thinking there's going to be this really deep story that's going to have all these elements and things and all that. That's not what this is. It's a fun, entertaining story, solid story. Let me say that again. It's a solid, fun, entertaining story. Don't go in there thinking or go in there expecting a whole lot. That's what it is. Number two, I think his name is, if I'm saying it correctly, Solo Martinez, pronounced XOXO. I don't know how to say his name correctly, but I just know him as Miguel from Cobra Kai. He did a good job in this film as the lead role. Now that I would give him props to, that he did do a good job. He did a really good job as in carrying this film. The second thing, they had George Lopez in here. Now, George Lopez, we already know what to expect from George Lopez with the comedy, the jokes, and that sort of thing. So it wasn't like when you saw him up in here, that he was gonna have this big role. We was expecting a whole lot. George was being George. Not in a bad way, but it's a good way. Like I said, we just know what to expect from him. The villain in this film was okay, but I felt that they could have put a little bit more flavor into the villain. You know, they could have put a little bit more spice, add a little bit more um, swag to the person, and they didn't do so. So I'm like, okay, the film has its good moments, it has its bad moments, it has some emotional moments, but overall, solid, fun, entertaining. And this film was more of a introduction film. That's what I got out of this. This was an introduction film. It was to introduce the masses and the DC fans to Blue Beetle. Now, people who know about Blue Beetle, I'm sorry, was not shocked about this. But for people who didn't know about him, this was an introduction, like, hey, let me introduce you guys to this new character. We want to get you guys feedback about it. How do you feel about this character? And that's one thing that James Gunn does really good. Now, even though he didn't write and direct this movie, but he's in charge of DC Studios. But James Gunn, his specialty is that he can take unknown characters that has little or no publicity and say, you know what, this is an interesting character. Let's make a movie, or let's do something with this character. We seen him do that with the Suicide Squads, with the Peacemaker, and now he's behind this. So as I said, he didn't write and direct this, but him being in charge of DC Studios, he did sign off on it to make this film. So on my temperature scale of low, medium, high, I'm going to give Blue Beetle a medium. I'm going to give it a medium. But as I said before, don't go in to the theater expecting a whole lot from this film. Don't do that. Because if you do, then you're gonna be pissed off because you're gonna be like, that was it, this and that. I thought it was gonna be. Don't go in there expecting that. So, but I want to hear from you guys. Let me know how you guys feel about this. If you have seen Blue Beetle, if you haven't seen Blue Beetle, let me know your thoughts about it. Did you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? I want to know from you guys. So like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned.